check, check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Check sound, check sound, check sound. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I hope you guys can hear me. Check sound, and check coffee. Bismillah. Coffee check. Check for stain. Check for coffee again. Still tastes the same. Nice. Indonesian coffee. Yes. All right. I hope you guys can hear me. I'll just wait for a few moments, okay, before I greet everybody. Okay, good morning, okay, good afternoon, or good evening, and to all of you, wherever you are watching this from. Greetings and peace from an Indonesian villagers. I'm sorry, an Indonesian villager. One. To all of you, okay? I hope you and your family are healthy, safe, okay, and blessed, okay, with a meaningful day. Welcome to this live stream. My name is Denny, okay, and this is Denny the Villager. By the way, I'm not a native English speaker, okay, but I like using English, okay, to communicate with people around the world, okay, and this live stream, okay, I use this live stream to practice, learn, and grow. Okay? So here, the idea is we talk, in an honest way, okay, respectful way about life, okay, about faith, okay, about education, culture, okay, and the world around us. Okay? So wherever you are from, welcome, okay? And please join the chat. You can just type and share your thoughts, in the chat room. Okay. Let me check the chat filter. Sometimes the chat filter is very strict here. Okay. Hi, Uncle G, namaste. All right, hello, who that? Shivam Mehra, welcome. Welcome, Shivam. Okay, let me drink this coffee. Right. So I hope you can hear me. Okay. Am I audible? Testing, 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 testing. Test, 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 test. Are you from China? Are you from China? Do I look like from China? Hey, do I look like from China? No, I'm not from China. I'm from Indonesia, like I said earlier. I'm from Indonesia. And where are you from, Shivam? Hello, Penghancur. Yeah, welcome. Let's practice our English here, okay? Penghancur. Oh, you're from India. Okay, Shivam, welcome. Welcome to this live stream. All right. So you know the title, right? So today, okay, I would like to discuss, okay, with all of you, okay, um, the question, okay, what makes God God? You know, what makes God truly God? Okay, you know, because I noticed that when I have this conversation and I have more, engagement, I have more feedback from all of you. I tried to talk about education once, and it was so quiet. But every time I talk about this subject, it seems like wow, this flooded with comments and all. So yeah, yeah. So, by the way, guys, I don't. Okay, let me tell you in advance here. Okay, I don't want to argue about religion. Okay, this is not this is not my intention. Okay, I don't want to argue about religion. Okay, um, but there are people argue. Okay, about um, religions because I think. They use the same word God, right? But they mean different things. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think so with this live stream, okay, I ask everyone to define the word God. Okay, so let's define this. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, I have an idea what does this word mean? Okay, and what is the definition of this word? But um, I am open-minded, I would like to hear from you guys, okay? So how do you sorry, what is your definition, okay, of this word? Maybe you know what? Maybe I should put this into a question, right? Let me think. What should be the question be? Well, thank you for the thumbs up. Not thumbs up, sorry. Thumbs up. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. Let's see. Shivam, what is the stream about? Oh, this is a Shivam is a discussion. It's a friendly discussion, okay, about faith, about culture, about the world around us. Okay, it's just today we are talking about you know the the word. Can you define the word? Okay. Yes. Okay, maybe I should ask in a more simple question. Okay. Okay, I will type it here. Okay, I will type it in the question and answer here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, you want to know about Indonesia? I love Indonesian horror movies. Oh, you like Indonesian horror movies? Yes, yes, yes. Indonesian horror movies are scary. Scary, 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 scary. Indonesian horror movies are scary. Yes. Every culture, right? When it comes to horror movies, right? They defeat the ghosts in a different way. For example, right? When I was growing up, okay, in we in Indonesia, the when the good guys in the movie, right, when how to defeat the ghost, you recite something, like you recite something, blah 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 blah, like a mantra, a recitation from the Holy Scripture, and then the ghost will, you know, explode or burn, that's how you defeat the ghost in Indonesian horror movies, at least the one that I remember. Okay. um, like Hollywood horror movies. Now, in Hollywood horror movies, right, they do it differently. They defeated the ghost, right, by shotgun, by guns, by dynamite, and they don't really defeat the ghost. At the end of the movie, normally the ghost will just come back, come to life, and then the movie ends. And what else in China, the Hong Kong movies, okay, how they defeat the ghost, they use the piece of paper, right, and they write something on the piece of paper, like a mantra, or something, and then put it on the forehead of the ghost, and then the ghost will be burned or stunned. That's how defeat the ghost. Okay. Japanese horror movies, you don't defeat the ghost. You cannot defeat the ghost. In Japanese version of horror movies, the ghost wins. The ghost wins. In Japanese horror movies, ghost wins. Okay. Indian horror movies, I watched a few Indian horror movies in the past. Okay. Now, since you're from India, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The Indian horror movies, right, the ghosts would be killed or somehow or another, by a statue. There's something from the statue will kill the ghost. Either the ghost slip off of the banana peel or something, and then end up, getting jabbed by the something from the statue, or something. But there has to be a statue involved there in the killing of the ghost. So yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. That's all. Those are the horror movies that I can compare. Okay, I don't know if you guys coming from different background, you can share. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read your comments, guys. Okay, let's see from. Okay, Shiva, I want to know more about Indonesia. I love Indonesia. Okay, I already read that. Define the word. Yes, ball striker. Yes. What is your thought about India? I think I don't know. I just India has an old culture, old civilization, thousands of years. And I think, not I think, but the fact is the Indian mythology has a lot of influence in Indonesia as well. Okay, and ball striker, okay, is one. Okay, are more than one. Okay, a ball striker. All right, I see. Okay, okay, I don't really understand what you mean here. Okay, ball striker. Maybe you can elaborate that, or maybe you can explain more. What do you mean? Is it? I mean, God, right? If it's one God, it's more than one. If it's, I don't know. You can correct me, okay? Because it's not so clear. Okay? Your sentence is too short. It's more than one thought. Oh, okay, yeah. People are so stupid in this movie. Okay, okay. Well, it's an opinion. Okay. And opinion. It's just a movie. A movie is just an art of telling story. Okay. All right. I'm gonna write the question in the chat room. Okay. For those who just came, so they will know what is going on. Okay. I'm gonna put a sticker, question and answer. Yeah. Let's see what is God. Yeah. What is God? Okay. Um, make a simple checklist. Here, there. Okay, so not what are your thoughts about the not what is your thoughts? Oh, I see, Ball. Yeah. Okay, so yes, it's a reminder from Ball Striker. It seems like Ball Striker is an English teacher here. What is your thought? Not what is your thoughts. Okay, it's plural. It's singular. You just have to excuse us. Okay, we are not native English speakers here. But thank you for reminding us. Okay, it's always nice to learn new things, right? Oh, Ball Striker is American. Okay, America is good. that's what the people say. Make America great again, right? Ball Striker. No offense to anyone. It's okay, Ball Striker. Normally, right? We say that no offense to anyone after you offend somebody, after you offended somebody, or you want to offend somebody, you say that. I'm sorry. Hey, no offense, okay, but you are wearing ugliest shoes I've ever seen. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Just joking, okay. Okay, so Ball is from the US, right? And hello, Jester. Welcome. Okay, welcome back, Jester. Okay. You weren't trying to offend. I understand, Ball. Okay, you know, uh, I'm just saying things. I like to say things. I think I'm under the influence of this coffee, by the way. So I like, sometimes I say silly things. You just have to just bear with me, okay? But we understand, okay? You are not trying to offend anybody, okay? Thank you for you know um, sharing that with us. It is for non English native speakers. It's relieving. uh, God is a fake. Jester. Jester. Yes, Jester. Offense for sense. Okay, Shivam. All right, Jester. Right, God is fake. Okay, so why did you say God is a fake? Okay, so what was the concept of God that presented to you that made you take that conclusion? This is fake. You can share it here, Jester. Okay, we are open-minded people. Well, at least I am an open-minded person. Okay, I think. I hope. We are not because the Bible is fake. Jester, we are not trying to criticize any scriptures. Okay, I'm not a Christian. Okay, but I don't want to criticize other people's scriptures. So we are not trying to go to religions, but let's discuss about God first. Like I think there's a lot of different definition. When they say the word God, I think they mean different things. This is I found. Okay, they mean different things. I thought they meant the same thing, but no, it's apparently they mean different things. So what is like? All right. So Jester, you can share here. Okay. Without criticizing the Bible. Okay. Why do you think God is fake? So what is the concept of God that was presented to you? All right. All right. And okay, Ball Striker said, what is God? Jesus Christ. Some may find that offensive. I don't find it offensive. It's okay. I don't share that view, but I don't find it offensive. I think this is why, you see, this is why this is a very good example, Jester. Okay, like Ball Striker and me, right? We're talking about the same word, and then we actually mean the different things. So this is what I mean. So this is why let's make a simple checklist. On the term is what is God. Now let's put the checklist. Okay. And so we can, I think we can agree, we can reach an agreement, right, without have to what's the word, argue about religions. Okay, that's what I mean. Okay, let's see. Shivam, what do you believe, science or magic? What do you believe, science? Okay, Shivam, you have to did you ask me or do you ask somebody in the chat room? Science or magic? Magic. There's a song, right? I don't know. Magic. Like that. Science is magic for people. It's magic. It's magical. With science, you can turn metal into gold. Gold is metal, right? I'm sorry. You can create a fire that doesn't burn. Yeah, that's magic. That's science, and also magical, I think. I want to know why I think that, because in the Bible, okay, it says that it took 40 years for Moses to go from Egypt to Israel, but in Google Maps, it says it takes 6 days. So what did they do all those years? All right, I see, Jester. Okay. So but the, what's the word? Okay, I think this is why, guys, we need to sit, and we're all sitting already, and let's define what is God first. So let's go back before we go to the scriptures. Let us define God first. Okay, so what is God? But I think, Jester, so when you say God is fake, it means that there is no God. Is that what you're implying? Or magic spells like sakalaka boom boom. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, let's see. A spell could be also science. Some people believe that your words, that's why in the old cultures, old people always say that be careful what you said, always say good things, instead of bad things, because what you say could manifest, what you say could manifest into reality. Not exactly like what you said, but you say negative things and it could manifest into negativity in that to you. If you say good, positive things, then positive things might, be happening to you. So it's in a way, it's like a spell, right? Have you thought about that? All right. Okay, let's see. Ball Striker said, yeah, Knights, it's a force. Yes, like Star Wars said, may the force be with you. Dang, 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 dang. It's 11 days walk from Goshen to Kadesh Barnea, but when the children of Israel didn't believe God, so they wandered the desert for 40 years. But you wouldn't get that from Google. It's in the Bible. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think, okay, so what's the word? What is God? Okay, that's what is God? Okay, I think I asked this also in the other live stream. Okay, and there are not many people actually able to make the checklist, to define what is God. Except there's only one word, love. But it's not. It's too simple. It's too simple. Like, yeah, God is love. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And that's God is love. Like that's too simple. If God existed many years ago, then why is there no mention of dinosaurs in any religion? Are you sure, Shivam? In in Islam, okay, it was actually mentioned. I'm sorry, let me think. Creatures besides humans. Okay, so God creates creatures besides humans. So it's not specifically dinosaur. The word dinosaur is not in the scripture, but from Islamic perspective, it was taught. We are taught that God created because the creator created many creatures in the past, in the present, and it will be in the future. So not exactly the word dinosaurs, but it can be implied to dinosaurs and other creatures as well, creatures that we can see and we cannot see. Okay. Hey, Nats Valor, welcome back. What time is it there, Nats Valor, in your place? Hey, ball striker Nats Valor is also from the US. Nats Valor is also passionate about this topic. So guys, just remember, okay, we try to be respectful with each other, okay? Ball striker, the creator, the beginning and the end. God sees all, God knows all, and is everywhere. Okay, now this ball striker is getting somewhere here. Okay, I agree with ball striker here. The beginning, okay. Sorry, the creator. Okay, definitely, I agree with ball striker. Okay, guys. And what's the word? God sees all. I would say that the all-seeing, right? God is all-seeing, right? And create the ball striker said knows all, maybe all-knowing. Okay, I would say all-knowing, but we can agree with that. All-knowing, all-seeing. Okay, and now I would argue. Okay, I disagree with ball striker in the beginning and the end. Okay, so I would argue that God has no beginning and has no end. Okay, so God has no beginning, has no end. Okay. That's the difference between me and ball striker. So I'm gonna put the checklist. Okay, so God. Okay, so something that we agree. Okay, the Creator, right? The Creator, and there has to be one. If there's God. Okay, so I think many people here agree with there's God, but for Jester, who doesn't believe there's God, there is only one God. Okay, so that's we can establish that there is only one God. Okay, and that one God is the Creator. Okay, has no beginning, has no end. Okay, that's the difference between me and Ball Striker. Okay, guys, Ball Striker said it's the beginning and the end, but from my point of view, has no beginning and has no end. Okay, because it's eternal. God is eternal. God, again, now the similarities again. God is all-seeing. Okay, all-knowing. Okay, what do you think, guys? Now this checklist, right? This checklist is important, okay, to check if our definition of God fit this checklist. Okay, so let's put the checklist. Okay, does it fit? Does our concept of God fit this checklist? I would like to add, okay, if I may add, okay, um, God is also different from the creation. Okay? I said that God is the creator, and God is different from the creation. Okay, because God is totally different entity. My argument is this. Okay, so we are considered as a 3D creature. A 3D creature, right? The way we measure, okay, we consider as a 3D creature. Now, if there are 2D creatures, okay, if 2D creatures like triangle, circle, square, so 2D creatures, right, cannot imagine our existence, from the perspective of 2D creatures. They will not be able to. It's not possible that for 2D creatures to identify us, to be able to comprehend us, like if you let's say on the piece of paper, right, and there's 2D shapes, those 2D shapes will not be able to grasp, us, our identity, okay, because it's not beyond their beyond them, So even though we put our finger, right, press our finger to the piece of paper, they will only see like one stripe, one line, and they think that that's us, which is not true, right? So the same as so the same as we cannot imagine God, because it's a different, different entity, So that's why I said in one of the checklists, God is different from the creation, just totally different. So we cannot imagine God. So there's only one God. It has to be one, right? The Creator, all-knowing, all-seeing, okay, all-hearing, and most loving, and it's different from the creation, So and all-powerful. Okay, that's I think we should add that. So once we have that checklist, okay, somebody come to us. Okay, this is God, and then you can check. Does it fit the checklist? If it doesn't fit, this could be you think you can question, arguably, respectfully, you can question the concept of God. This is what I feel. Okay. Okay. Yes, Blue Striker. Yes, the one true God, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes, I respect that. Other people also say that this is God, and the other group of people say to me, this is God. So I respect that. But then once put the checklist, does it fit the description? Okay, Shivam, we all humans, no one different whether we believe in any religion or not. Ultimately, knowing even everyone is the ultimate truth. We all die. Yeah, Shivam. Okay, I'm not talking that which religion is correct, or which religion is false. No, no. This is why. Just a kind reminder for everybody. We are not talking about which religion is right. You know, I'm discussing about God. The definition of God. I think it is safer for me. Because I don't like to attack people's religion. Although people are constantly insulting my religion. But it's okay, I'm a very patient man. People say horrible things about my religion, especially Nats Valor. But it's okay. I understand. I have empathy that people say also they're being told certain things about my religion which is not true. Okay, Danny, Bible says Alpha Omega, meaning your beginning, your end. Okay, okay, not valor. But do you agree that if there's God, then should have no beginning, should have no end? God doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end because God is eternal, right? I mean, I think, ball striker, you are an American, right? Eternal means has no beginning, has no end, right? Or am I wrong? If I'm wrong, then I shouldn't use the word eternal then. Okay, God cannot be defined by our human understanding. Um, I disagree with that, boss striker. I mean, there's nothing complicated, from the checklist that I just mentioned, right? It's not. It's a very simple, simple checklist. After all, this concept should be easy enough to be grasped by villagers like me, for example. Easy enough to be understood by you know let's say people who didn't go to formal school. Easy enough, because God is for everyone, right? Either that those people literate or illiterate, so it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. That's my view. So this is why there's a checklist. And it's not a lot of checklists. It's not like 100 checklists that you have to be like that. No, very simple. Uh, God has to be one, right? Okay, the creator, right? And what else? What I said: all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful, all-loving, right? And no beginning, no end. And God is different from the creation, because God is the creator, different from the creation. And my argument why God has to be different from the creation was like the 3D creatures like us, in comparison to 2D. That's 2D creatures. I mean. Ball strike. God exists outside of time. We exist inside of time. Yes, I agree with that, ball striker. Yes, yes. God exists outside of time. We exist inside of time. I agree with that. Because God is the creator, right? So God created the universe, and I think the established science already agreed that time, space, started when the universe started. I think so. Time itself has a beginning. So if God created the universe, so God has to be outside of the influence of the universe. I don't know. Okay, Shivam, how many good deeds do you think a person has done to become equal to God or angel? All right. So how many good deeds? No, you cannot. You cannot be equal to God. You know, if you again with the definition of God, like I mentioned earlier, Shivam, nobody can be equal to God because um, we already have a beginning. God has no beginning, has no end. So we have a beginning. So from the definition itself, from the start, we are not the same. You know, so we cannot be equal. You know, because we are not God, right? That's my argument. Okay, that's my argument. Yeah, boss striker. Yes, yes. See, boss striker also agree with me. We can never be equal to God, regardless of good deeds. Yes, yes, yes. You're right. I agree with boss striker. Yes. See, so so far, right? The only one who can give the check, who's willing to share the checklist, is ball striker on the terms of definition of God. You know, God is spirit and truth. Um, I disagree with that. Okay, who created the spirit? You know, so again, if it has it doesn't explain. You know, if you say God is spirit and truth, then it doesn't explain who created the spirit. You know, so God has to be something more than that. You know, again, like you know, we agreed earlier that God is the creator, right? So if we say God is spirit and truth, then it doesn't explain who created spirit and truth. You know, that's that we are inviting an attack. You know, from an atheist. You know? Sorry. God, okay, God created spirit and truth. All right, okay, yeah, okay, I can agree with that. God created spirit and truth. Yes, yeah, truth means the law of truth, right? Yeah, I agree. So that's why God is not spirit because God created spirit. From my perspective, because God is different from the creation, you know. God has to be different from our imagination, you know. So if we can imagine that, it means it's not God, you know. Like if 2D any 2D creatures will not be able to imagine us, you know, will not be able to identify us, you know. Same like we will not be able to, you know, see like, oh, God is like this shape, you know, that shape. That's what I mean. Because okay, I'm reading Shivam. Shivam it's difficult to just Shivam. Okay, Shiva or Shivam. I call you Shiva. Is it okay? Yeah. Shiva said, because in my country, innocent people they consider the PM to be equivalent to God. Oh, the Prime Minister. I see. To God and get trapped in the trap of other fraudulent babas. This is the reason why India has not been able to develop. So, Oh, I see. Okay, that's a challenge I think for Indian society. I guess you have to overcome. I'm not going to criticize your society. Okay, I'm not. That's not what I'm here for. But it is good that you understand that you recognize the challenges there. Okay, Shiva. Okay, so you recognize the challenge and then. That's the first step I think to be better. If you can identify the problem, so the next step is how to solve the problem. If a person, a sick person, if that person is able to identify or to understand that that person is sick, so the next step would be how to get the cure. But if that person is not aware that that person is sick, and yeah, there's very little chance that that person will get it will be cured, right? So it's good. All I can say, Shiva, that it's good that you understand the challenge, okay, or challenges in your community, and then so the next step would be to find the solution, right, Shiva? And both tracker, those are God's attributes. Yes, yes, the God's attributes. Yeah. So the checklist, I think we can say attributes, yeah, and see if it fits. So we should have some kind of a checklist, or what do you call that? Um, when the QC manager, right, the quality control manager, when they check the item, they have to check if this is the right thing, if it fits quality, quality control, something like that. What am I talking about now? Okay, Shivam. Okay, Shivam. All right, so I call you Shivam. Okay. No human even handling if not equal to God. Right, right. So I think ball striker and I we agreed that nobody can be equal to God. Okay, regardless of how much good deed that person has done. Yeah, it's just once you understand the attributes of God, or not understand. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say the word understand, but maybe yeah, I understand. Maybe what is the other word for understand? Maybe what is the once you aware of the God's attribute, and then maybe then it's impossible to just call something as God, Not valor. Okay, Denny, not valor. I'm going to say this one last time. It's boring. You're wasting time. I've been doing this 48 years. It's not kindergarten, okay? It's the end time. Satan is raging and deceiving. Only Jesus saves. Yes, 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 yes. Knight's valor. Yes. Okay, okay. I'm look, Knight's valor. I'm getting bored too. Okay, okay. The thing is, look, I respect your point of view, but it's just it doesn't make sense. Once you have the checklist, then does your God fit the checklist? If it doesn't fit, then it's. I'm not saying there's no God, okay? So I'm just saying that it doesn't fit, Do you stream daily? It was nice to meet you. I have some work right now. I have to go by. Okay, take care, Shivam. Yes, yes. I'm a new streamer. Okay, and I try to do this daily, okay, and maybe an hour and a half, okay. Not your God, God. Yes. How do we pronounce that now? Yes, yes. It's okay. Look, if it doesn't fit the checklist, then it doesn't fit. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just um, which part of the checklist that you disagree. Okay, this is my question. If you disagree with my statement, which of the checklist that you disagree? Okay, so I say, right. All I said is, okay, God is one. Okay, so there's no nothing like that's similar to God. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, all right, and then secondly, God is all powerful. Yes, the checklist. My checklist. No, it's not. Well, I'm saying it as a checklist, but you can call it anything. But you can call it attributes. Okay, let's if you want to say it as an attribute, you can call it attribute. Okay, it's just I use the word checklist, so it's easy for people outside of my group to understand. That's my intention using the word checklist. Okay, so all power. Okay, God is only one. Okay, there's nothing like God. Okay, nothing like God. Okay, similar to God, nothing equals to God. So all powerful. Okay, all knowing, all hearing, all seeing, all loving. Okay, so those are the lists. And it God has no beginning, has no end. Okay, has no beginning, because if something if something begins to exist, so there has to be a cause. you know God doesn't have a cause. Okay, science proved that today's science agreed that everything that begins to exist has a cause. So therefore, God doesn't have a beginning. Okay, therefore it doesn't need a cause. So has no beginning, has no end. Okay, um, different from the creation, and all powerful. So if somebody come to me, right? Hey, Danny, this card is God. Okay, so I can bring, okay, well, without using my scripture, I can just say, okay, well, this cannot be God, because it doesn't fit the checklist, it doesn't fit the attributes. This is not all powerful, okay, or this is not unique. There are other things that look similar to this thing, right? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, let me read your sentences. Okay, for the audience who's coming here later, and watch this the recording of this live stream. Okay, so Knights Valor, but yes, it's boring. The same thing. Okay, yeah. Just because it's boring to you, it doesn't mean it's not the truth. Problem is, hell now is no joy, only near assault. I just want peace. I'm handicapped alone and 10 lives. Oh, well, devil after me, life and death. Okay. Then he's a good guy. Oh, thank you. Likes to teach. He will be a good, safe believer. I believe. I'm a believer. Not valor. I believe there is God. really spread the word once saved. Read the book A Case of for Christ Daily. I told you I was growing up in a multi-religious background. Okay, so yes, I was blessed, have to have the opportunity. Okay, God is all powerful and He is one God. Okay, I have no problem with that. Ball striker. Science has theories that change with time. God never changed. Okay, ball striker. That yes, you're right, but you have to put it into the context. That's why we cannot make science as God, but we can use established science that has been tested to not all science are wrong. This is my point. Not all science are wrong, but not all not all scientific finding is the truth. That's why we cannot use science as our God. Okay, so I think you would agree with me. Okay, I hope. God bless Bo to sick 24/7 and have 30 more cats to 10 being attacked decades, hated by all. Oh Jesus. Okay. Bo Striker, God bless you, Knight. Okay, Bo, he is one God in three persons. Okay. Danny, it's boring because it's not the truth, but you're seeking sick and you shall find. Okay. One God with three natures, yes. Okay. Yes, when the teacher in the classroom, right, teaching math, there's some students who say boring. I don't need to know that 3 plus 3 equals 6. Sorry. So I think just because something is boring. I mean, I found it something. Sometimes I found things boring too. So I don't blame you. It's just. The question, I think, is relevant to everybody, to all of us, human beings. If you see yourself as a human being, I think this question is relevant to you. Okay? People are arguing about God. So who is God? What is God? So without defining what is God, so people are arguing who is God. Yeah, who is God? Oh, this is my God is the right one. Your God is wrong. You're worshiping the false God. I'm worshiping the right God. But nobody is actually willing to agree first. Okay, on what is God first. So because if you don't have the definition of God, then it's too easy for us, to accuse other people. You are worshiping a false God, you worshiping a false God. You are worshiping a false God. You are worshiping a false God. And then somebody asks, okay, what is definition of God? It's love. Like what? So that's that's yes. Right. So my point is, right. So you say that this person is God. So does it fit the description of God? The definition of God. That's an honest question. If it doesn't, if it fits, then well, congratulations. If it doesn't fit, then what is the other explanation? I'm not attacking any religion, okay? I'm just asking you guys, the God, the concept of God that you have, Does it fit the checklist? Does it fit the description? If it fits, congratulations. But if it doesn't fit, what is the other explanation? God is not a person as we think of people. Okay, like what Ball Strike said, God is not a person as we think of people. Yeah. Because look, I'm very fortunate. Okay, I feel very blessed. To be able to interact with different group of people. They came to me spreading their message. Evangelists came to me, Mormons came to me, Buddhists came to me, atheists came to me. Atheist also has a religion. The religion of atheism is atheism. The religion of atheists is atheism. They also try to convince me. And Seventh-day Adventists, and the Muslims. So I feel very blessed to be able to have a conversation with them. I didn't go to them. They came to me in my life. Sometimes in my life they came to me and they approached me. Except so, and then I was able to read the scripture. Sorry, and yeah. So it brought me to the conclusion. Okay, there has to be a definition of God. God is not a person. That's period. It cannot be a person. Because once a God is a person, and that would eliminate the uniqueness, the oneness of God. They cannot be other that is similar, even in terms of look or appearance. Because there's only one. Against the checklist. If God has to be a person, if God's in a person, then it means that God has to choose either to be in a male body or a female body. Yes, God exists beyond our human logic. That's no, that's I disagree. I mean, that can be taken out of context. Okay, so what is the context of that? So I think it doesn't mean that we cannot understand the look. Which checklist is this that I just mentioned to you, or attributes that beyond our logic? They are simple, Ball Striker. These are simple things, I don't think those checklists are beyond our human logic, and even though the shape of God, the appearance of God is beyond our human logic, that I can agree, but it doesn't mean that we cannot define, what is God, For example, but 50 years ago, right? Nobody have seen a black hole, in the universe, but the scientists mathematically, were convinced that there's a black hole, So just because we cannot see we cannot see. Okay, what I'm trying to say, I'm mumbling now. You know what I mean. Okay? You know what I mean. So yeah. So guys, this is my offer. My not my offer, but my understanding. Okay, I'm sharing you my understanding. Okay. And the reason why I try to stick with the topic of God, because I don't want to fall into the trap of debating between religions. There are other social media accounts. They love to have debate about religions. I don't see the you know I don't see it's useful for me. Okay, but I think if we can have discussion about God, okay, regardless of your religious background or cultural background, I think we can always come to an agreement, because this is not about religion. This is about something that is far more important, than a religion, which is God, right? Unless you make religion as your God, that would be a different thing. Okay, that would be a different situation. Right. So I have maybe another 5 minutes, and I will try to go live again maybe in the afternoon. Okay, maybe another few hours from now. Okay, couple of hours from now, I will try to go live again with the same question. Um, and see, maybe I can get a different perspective. 'Cause I enjoy listening to other people's perspective. And if I agree with them, I would say I agree. Like Ball Striker mentioned different things earlier, which I agree with, and I would say I agree. Yeah. But when I don't agree, then I would also say that I disagree, and I gave you the reason. I think maybe this is too early, right? It's morning time, so I will go live again maybe later in the afternoon. What time is it now? Let's see. It is 10:20. Yeah, I will go live again about another 6 hours time. Yeah. Okay, Ball. Have a good day. You too, Ball. Okay, Ball Striker. Okay. Thank you for participating here. Okay, Ball Striker, and thank you for sharing your opinions. And Nats Valor as well. Even though you feel, this is, it's just because you keep saying the, Nats Valor. You just keep saying, you keep saying the same thing over and over again, and it's not related to the question. So that makes me confused. Do, 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 do. Okay, guys. So that's it for now. Okay, and remember, the purpose of this live stream is not to attack other religions, other background. It's just to have a friendly discussion, not a debate. Okay, a debate is, you want to it's a situation where you want to destroy your opponent's point of view. This is not a debate. Okay, just a discussion. We exchange information. Okay. All right, everybody, take care, and see you maybe if you come back later in another 6 or 7 hours. You're welcome. Okay. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.